Hey guys, this week on the Comic Book Syndicate, we will be doing Jonah Hex, Planet Hulk DVD, and
I'm not doing Jonah Hex.
Ultimate X. Why not?
Because he's a cowboy. I'm not doing.
I love cowboys.
I'm not reviewing a cowboy.
All right, Danny won't be doing Jonah Hex. We'll be back right after this.
Don't forget, James Avatar Cameron is going to help us review Ultimate X.
Next up is Jonah Hex, number 52. I personally really liked it. The story was classic Western style, really good dialogue. The art reminded me of something like maybe Joe Kubert or Will Eisner would do. So really a comic that almost comes out of like the 50s or 60s. For that reason, I recommend it. For that reason, probably no one's going to buy it. So, Jolie?
I liked and disliked this book for several different reasons. I've never read Jonah Hex. It kind of stands alone. I didn't mind that. I mean, at least I could get into it. It's just the Western language is kind of, it's easy to listen to in a movie. It's hard to read in a comic book, and that was my biggest qualm with it. But the art was fantastic. I liked it. George?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't go wrong with the artwork. The artwork is brilliant. Jonah Hex fans will be hugely impressed and love it. This artist has been there before. This writer's been there before. And as a big cowboy fan, and like you said, the language, if you watch as many episodes of the Rifleman and Clint Eastwood movies as I have, it is brilliant to read. It's really, really good. Way too short, as usual, but a simple cowboy theme. You know, they didn't really go anywhere special with it, but it was brilliant.
So yeah, if you're sick of Blackest Night, pick up Jonah Hex.
Don't forget, Jim Titanic Cameron is going to help us review Ultimate X.
Okay, next up, we're going to review Red Hulk number 1, a new series by Marvel Comics. Al, you can set
Red
this up.
Hulk number 1.
What?
I won't read that.
Right after this, Jimmy Piranha 2 Cameron is going to help us review Ultimate X. Hey guys, James Cameron just posted on his wall.
Today we're reviewing a new movie by Marvel Comics titled
Planet Hulk!
Whoa.
Think about this. The Hulk on another planet.
I've always felt the Incredible Hulk worked better on the TV show with Bill Bixby.
The animation was great. Hulk talks. I didn't know that.
Puny humans, Hulk talks.
I liked it. It was gory. It was for kids. It was for adults. It was great. The subtext was there. You got political oppression.
The only thing that I wouldn't recommend, of course, is commentary. I don't really watch commentary on DVDs before, and this one was just them making a lot of excuses and explaining things why they didn't do stuff, and it just kind of ruined it. So I would highly recommend it.
Blood came out of his body and fell on the ground, and then plants started growing, and it's like, oh, the prophecy. He is the chosen one. Plants will grow from his blood. And then it just went to something else. They never talked about it ever again. I would recommend it because I like cartoons, and I like the Hulk.
Don't watch this movie. It's the writing is terrible, just like the comic. The storyline, Planet Hulk, had absolutely no story. It was just an excuse to have 16 issues of fighting, and that's exactly what this movie is. So I can't recommend it.
I am a Hulk layman. I've never read Hulk. It was something that was handed to me when I was asked what I should read because I was interested, and it makes me want to read more. I didn't think it was just fighting. The movie was definitely just fighting because it was only an hour long, but it didn't do justice to the book at all. If you want a better version of Planet Hulk, read the book.
From layman to expert, bona fide. With the bleeding and the plant life growing from the blood, I think they gave that away like right at the beginning, and you have to kind of build up to that because it's pivotal to the storyline. And no King Meek, huge letdown, sorry.
I would disagree with Mike. It's not that bad. And I know that there is a lot of violence, but the violence is good for a cartoon because it's very gory. And I was all crazy at the beginning because there's a little bit of like Civil War because it obviously ties into that. And yeah, I would recommend it.
Okay.
George, we're going to review the book.
We're going to review a book. It's called
Ultimatum X.
Ultimate X.
Damn.
Yes, it's done by Jeff Loeb and Arthur Adams, who I'm so happy to see back again. I don't think that guy's done a full-length issue in forever, and he's like wine. He's aging beautifully. He just doesn't do enough work for my taste. And now you can actually see, 'cause remember that stuff from the 80s and that when he was popular? With the way it was printed, like the black lines were over here and they had like yellow and purple. And that's the only colors they had.
I haven't read an X-Men comic in a long time.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but in this, now mutants are protested and not liked.
So anyways, yeah, the art was pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed looking at his chiseled body through every panel, like with no shirt on.
Yeah, well,
he's pretty ripped, man.
You know,
like he's got
ever since 90210, we just can't live without the situation being in front of us.
Yeah, and it just, I don't know. I thought the story was okay, but who won the race?
What?
Speaking of the story, I thought it was surprisingly good considering it was Jeff Loeb. Because Jeff Loeb, as we all know, is currently the worst writer working in the comic book industry. So this is better than he usually turns out.
You don't like Jeff Loeb?
No.
Okay.
But what I think is that knowing his past reputation, this is probably all going to amount to nothing. So anything that is good in this comic will probably all amount to nothing as far as theme or plot. The art, of course, is really good. Anyone who likes a guy named Jeff Scott Campbell should see Art Adams, because Jeff Scott Campbell is just Art Adams with thinner inks. Although I gotta say, all of this effort to me is kind of wasted because the Ultimate Comics line has clearly seen its day. So all this talent and all these ideas should be spent on the mainstream Marvel Universe. That's what I think. Okay, I'd like to thank Border City Comics for providing us with the comics again. Join us again next week. And George, like to wrap it up, or?
No, I refuse. I'm not wrapping up this episode. In the Ultimate Universe, they're mixed. Okay. It's not New Mexico's Old Mexico, and regular Mexico's New Mexico.
And like Florida was like the mom.